Hi, I'm Josh Java.
I am Terry Garrett. This is Mudley Creek.
Earth science is a scientific study of the planet Earth. In Earth science, all of the following are used: physics, geology, geography, meteorology, mathematics, chemistry, and biology. This video will introduce you to Mudley Creek, how pollution affects the environment, and how people help restore damaged creeks and lakes.
I want to say something about pollution. Pollution is a very bad problem in the society of our world today. Whether it's someone throwing a piece of paper on the floor, or someone just throwing simply a bottle on the floor too. How would you feel if a river polluted you? Anyway, I did some research on pollution with my test subject being Mudley Creek. We underwent many tests to see if Mudley Creek was in fact polluted. We did such tests as pH, temperature, turbidity, and dissolved oxygen, in case Mudley Creek was in fact not polluted. Certain key points in my research were actually the results of the experiment. For example, pH was always around 7, 7.5, somewhere around there. Temperature primarily stayed between 4 to 20 degrees Celsius, temperature and range, which is good for the fish because the colder the temperature, the more oxygen they hold. Turbidity was 40 JTU every time I tested it. And then the dissolved oxygen was always between 4 ppm and 8 ppm, parts per minute, and the percentages were 35 to 70%. Through the process of my research of pollution on Mudley Creek, I came back to find that Mudley Creek was in fact not polluted.
Over the past few years, Mudley Creek has been under restoration management. This means Mudley Creek has been under supervision and protection by local government agencies and environmental groups. I actually did some research to determine if the restoration management project was needed to help create a healthy ecosystem and maintain public health. Some tests that I did to determine if the project was necessary were pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen, and turbidity. The pH level was a constant level of pH 7, which is really great because pH determines the amount of acid in water from a scale of 0 to 14, with 7 being neutral. The temperature ranged 4 degrees Celsius to 16 degrees Celsius. Dissolved oxygen was between 6 and 8 ppm or parts per million. When I tested turbidity, the results came back between 0 JTU and 40 JTU. The turbidity was the most important test for my research because it determines the clarity of water. With a higher amount of turbidity, the darker the clarity. And the number one cause of high turbidity is erosion. Overall, the research I did was a crucial part of our project because it determined the Mudley Creek Restoration Management Project was needed. Many ecosystems and people will benefit in many ways thanks to the Restoration Management Project. Our class data consists of 4 tests: turbidity, temperature, pH, and dissolved oxygen. Turbidity is the measure of the relative clarity of water. The higher the JTU, the darker the water is. Our class turbidity results range from 0 JTU and 40 JTU.
The next test was temperature. The temperature is to test to see how cold or warm the water is, which can also influence how much oxygen is in the water at the time. The class result for the experiment was between 4 degrees Celsius and 16 degrees Celsius. Like right now, the water is really cold, which means it has a lot of a ton of oxygen in it, which is really good for the fish, the environment, and all the streams and stuff.
The next test was pH. pH is a measurement of the acidic or basic quality of water. The pH scales from 0 to 14, 0 being very acidic and 14 being very basic. Our class results was a steady 7 and 7.5. This means that the water of Mudley Creek has a pretty neutral acidic level, which is vital for animals that live in the creek ecosystem.
The final test was dissolved oxygen. The test was actually determines how much dissolved oxygen is in the water. High dissolved oxygen levels are good for the aquatic animals. High dissolved oxygen levels are a sign of good health in a stable water environment through the stream. The class's result of dissolved oxygen varied between 4 and 8 ppm parts per minute. The percentages vary between 31% and 75%. And all the tests that we used today were necessary to find out if the river was polluted or not. In conclusion, the quality of Mudley Creek is great. It's not polluted and it's a freshwater source, so clean we can drink out of it, but it's not actually advised. We learned a lot of things from this project. We learned how to take various test on water quality to see if it's pure or dirty or whatever it is. We also learned that our local Mother Creek is a freshwater source and it's not polluted, which is that's what we wanted. Thanks for listening.